probably the final blow that they could have had to the cure. And now they're going to continue going down one by one. And pretty soon this... It looks like there's no one... Everyone's still around, but that's going to change any moment now. Because there is not that many countries left. And it's mutating still. But, yeah, this is basically the premise of the game. It's not that difficult. Yep, see, here we go. As I said, now countries are beginning to fall completely because no one is around anymore. This country now no longer exists. There is now no longer a Colombia in South America in this game. As you can see, they had research funding as well, and it's all gone. But it's basically where you can find out about each individual country as well, if you need to. They let you get really in deep in these, because, you know what? You kind of need to if you want to make sure things are okay. But, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I think I've explained the basics of this game. I know this was a long introduction for this game, but there's a lot to cover with this game. And as I said, each individual plague also has their own little things I have to explain. So I'm not done introducing this game and kind of explaining things. So there's still a lot more to go. And look at all the countries now that have just fallen. Just in the span of like a minute. Not even a minute, like 30 seconds. That's because everyone's just... All the countries are now just falling apart. There's no way they can make this cure now because there's just not enough countries, not enough people. Let's see. Is there any other things I can do here? I think I've pretty much... I could try to pursue that if I wanted to, but... there's not really any point now. But yeah, that's another one you can get in a little branch. It's pretty nasty. I don't go for it usually though because there's ones that are better. But if you're really needing to up the lethality of this thing, it's there. You know, it's there at your disposal, and you can just take care of things that way. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that this game's in the bag now. Yeah, there's also I mentioned there's a nice little diagram here to show how much the thing is like affecting, and how much it looks on the person, how badly you're affecting them and all. And then you have this area up here where you can see just how nasty the thing looks. Like earlier you probably saw how small it was. Now look at it, it's huge. I keep double clicking for some reason. Now, this, they say the genes have been manipulated. Occasionally, sometimes it'll be the opposite and it'll set back their efforts, but at this point they're not gonna get anywhere. There's just not enough people. Like, you can see now that pretty much everyone is gone. And even if they did, even with that, they'd have 10 years to find a cure if everyone suddenly stopped dying. So, yeah, they're screwed. Of course, now people are slowly dying out one by one. They're now down below 1 million. Yeah, they're not getting anywhere here. There's still governments alive, though. That's the thing. But you'll have to accommodate for a lot more certain other plagues. Trust me on that. This is not like you have no idea. Like, this is just the basics. And now the game's telling you, hey, you've pretty much clinched a win at this point. Like, there's just no way things are going to there's just no way that they're gonna recover from this. They're all gonna be gone. But yeah, if you thought this was a lot of explaining, trust me, it's a lot easier playing. You know, because you can learn as you go, and it's more convenient that way. But explain things like this game, you have to keep in mind of a lot of things, and I'm sure I didn't even mention everything. So rather useless DNA points there, because I've successfully won, so... And now here you can see your biohazard points, which is essentially 1 to 5. That's just basically your ranking. Your total score based on how quickly you managed to get things done, how far the cure had been when you finished, the difficulty, plague type, etc. But most importantly, you can watch a nice little instant replay of everything as it was happening. Like how, as your plague had spread. Which is really cool to watch, especially when it's just accelerating, like when it's just moving very fast. Like here, like look how quickly it just starts spreading once you've gotten things going. So, and then as you can see how the color like becomes dark and everything just freezes solid. Like to show that everything is just dead and cold, dead and inactive. So yeah, that's pretty much the game, though. There will be more episodes of this to come, though. Oh, trust me on that, because there's a lot to this game, and I could play the same thing again, and it will probably turn out the exact opposite. Like, you can have one game go well, like this one did, and the next game it'll just it won't seem as great. But indeed, that's pretty much everything. With that in mind, by the way, another thing I should mention, I think I did mention before that there are official scenarios, not just custom scenarios. These are all of them. You don't start out with all of them unlocked immediately, though. You start out with this one and this one. And then you unlock more as you go. Eventually I'll show those off, but they're not really... Most of them are not really that much to show off, but yeah, that is Plague Inc. Evolved, ladies and gentlemen. There will be more episodes to come, but for now, I will see you guys in the next edition of Plague Inc. Evolved. But for now, this is SSF signing out. Sayonara, guys.